Hello and welcome. My name is Vishal and I'm CTO and founder at InfraCloud Technologies. Today we are going to talk about developer productivity and how it is changing, as the world of infrastructure is evolving. Now, developer productivity is definitely very essential. Developers' time, is very crucial for any organization. Let's look at what are the challenges in that space. So, if you look at a typical developer today who is developing microservices, he has to work across many portals. For example, he might be using one portal for looking at the CI/CD jobs, something like GitHub Actions maybe. He might be logging into AWS, looking at some machines or some other infrastructure stuff. He may be using something like SonarQube to look at the quality of his code, or he may be looking at some dashboards and monitoring how things are performing in dev or QA or higher environments, for example. And of course, with APIs, you have to understand which service is providing what kind of API and stuff like that. Now, it's a lot of cognitive overload to switch between these portals and understand each one of them, how do they work and stuff like that. And then every team has their own set of tools and technologies basically. Now, of course, as every team has different needs, it doesn't make sense for us to fit all of them into one kind of pattern. Maybe some team might be using Jenkins instead of GitHub, as a CI/CD tool. Some other team might be using Google Cloud instead of AWS, and some other team might be using Prometheus instead of Datadog, as a monitoring tool. And we have to cater to every team's needs without sacrificing, the flexibility that comes with using different tools. Lastly, when a typical developer moves from one team to other team or from one organization to other organization, there's a lot of time spent in understanding the tools which are specific to that team or that organization. So if you're transitioning from, let's say, GitHub CI/CD to Jenkins, AWS to Google Cloud, and one monitoring tool to other monitoring tool, for example. And lastly, many organizations don't expose all the tools that they have to engineers or developers. And in the process, what happens is either you end up setting up processes for dealing or talking to operations team, get some stuff done, that causes delays. What would be very nice is if they can access the only required functionality in a single place, sort of, right? So, what is the solution to all this? And I think in last maybe year or so, between 2019 and 2020, a lot of big organizations have solved this problem very nicely, and this is what we're going to talk about.